Hello everyone and welcome back to Realm News. I hope that you are all having a great week so far. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. Today, I have a rather off the format episode, folks. I am recording this week during a major American holiday, Thanksgiving. And I get 2 extra days off from work, meaning that I will be out of town most of the week. It is a great thing. It means I don't have to be at my day job for 2 days, which, believe me, my day job is not great, like my podcasting. So today I'm just going to be making this episode short, and so the format's going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to be covering poll time today. No real, no realm this week. Just my opinions and the Minecraft community's opinions on my poll question. Without further ado, let's start the show, folks. It's poll time! Yes, my friends, it is poll time, and as I just mentioned, poll time is the show today. A couple days ago, I posted a question on Realm News' Reddit and to other Minecraft subreddits. This is what I posted. Quote, "It is poll time, and I am curious about how many villagers you have in your world or biggest village, whether that be a natural village or made by your hands. I recently did a census on my population, and I have a total villager count of 372 villagers, albeit I have around 30 villages that I have made in almost 2 years of building this world. My biggest town has approximately 38 villagers. How many do you have in your biggest town?" End quote. That was the post that I put out there for the Reddit community, and I wanted them to answer. I gave 5 choices to choose from in that question that I posed. And that earned a total of 41 votes in total. So out of the 5 choices, they were essentially 5 range groups. And I'll just go ahead and list them. And it was supposed to the aim of this poll was to identify the average player's villager population in their biggest village is what I wanted, but I had kind of a skew, and I'll admit, I didn't do the best job posing this question. So it wasn't the most scientifically well done poll, but it'll give us a general sense. Allow me to go ahead and list off those choices. So I have 0 to 15, then I have 15 to 30, then 30 to 45, 45 to 60, 60 to 75, and 75 to 100. And you see, I wish I would have, in that first one, done 1 to 15 instead of 0 to 15, because people that don't even have a village can just go ahead and opt in on that. So it kind of skews the whole thing. Sorry about that. I wasn't able to add a 100+ option as well, because I was only limited to 5 choices on Reddit, which I wish I could have in retrospect, because I'm sure people have more than just 100 as their cap on the population in their village. However, I'll probably do another poll in the future and make that a little bit better, a little bit more thorough. Maybe I'll do a couple polls, average them out. However, this worked out somewhat well. We'll run with it for the sake of the show, okay? But before we move on with the poll results and the comments, I would like to tell you all a little bit about my villages and population count in my world of Ombre Dieu. I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane with me. I want to tell you about my very first city in my almost 2-year-old world. I cannot remember the exact date that I started this world, but it was around December 27th or 2022. It was on the way back from a visit to Colorado Springs, Colorado, when I went out there with my girlfriend, Gaia Divine, to visit my brother who lives out there. I wasn't driving back, so I was the bored passenger, but I had downloaded Minecraft once again onto my tablet. That is how I got started back into Minecraft after my, 9-year hiatus or 10-year almost hiatus from Minecraft. So I got back into it on the ride back to the very, very boring drive back to Kansas. If you've never made the drive, I can't remember the highway, but from Colorado Springs to Kansas to Manhattan, Kansas, wow. Yeah, there's not even radio stations on that drive, so be prepared. Take a tablet with you like I did and play Minecraft. There you go. I solved your problem right there. Play Minecraft. Actually, that's probably the best way to solve most boring situations is just pull out whatever device you have and play Minecraft, especially since you can play it on any device. And no, I don't work for Minecraft, so they just got free advertising. Again, since I am a Minecraft podcast. But anyways, enough about how I got back into Minecraft. I downloaded it on my tablet, and when I was riding back to Kansas, I was playing it with my brother online. And that's, in fact, I can thank that tablet. I still play on it today, and that's how I do my podcast. So I can thank that whole trip for it. Well, after playing in my new world I named Ombre Dieu for a couple weeks after starting back up into it, I had decided to try to find a village because I don't even think I found a village when I first started playing years prior, when I first was in Minecraft. So my brother had told me about a village that he had found close to his spawn point days prior to my exploration to finding one. And so I felt just more compelled to do the same thing, go find my own natural village. I just wanted to get out there, explore my area more, and see what I could find. And the world does tend to feel very lonely in Minecraft if you don't have a village. The world being nearly infinite due to the fact that you probably will never make it to the far lands before giving up. You'll probably never reach the end. It just goes on forever, almost, seemingly. It is said that each of these seeds that turn into a unique world that you are in are actually 8 times the size of our own planet Earth. If that puts it in perspective, 8 times of our planet that you're sitting on is what I read online, the size of these maps or these worlds of Minecraft that are generated. So it is easy to feel lonely. That's what I mean by that. And sure, they're passive mobs like sheep, cows, chickens, etc. But those are not anthropomorphic entities that make you feel less alone like a villager does. Why do these non-player characters make you feel like you're part of their society? Well, probably because you can relate to the villager. They look the most human. They have occupations, and well, each village you encounter is unique. Yes, of course, there are similar motifs between villages of the same biome, but each one has a unique generation. It took me a little while, maybe a few hours of intentionally looking for a village, but I managed to find one, and I named it Wallachia. It is a simple plains village. At the time, I thought it was the greatest village ever. I wasn't alone anymore in my world, and I wanted to find a village so I could start my own. So I did. I got 2 of their villagers and brought them to a small plot of land that I had made in the middle of the Ombre Dieu Ocean. This small plot of land was originally a fortress with a dock. I added some dirt blocks to the fortress. I brought the 2 villagers there and unloaded them successfully. They started to breed immediately, and I had 4 villagers all of a sudden. Problem was, I also had a glass underwater room below the fortress that allowed you to see the ocean from below. Well, a few of my villagers went down there, and I couldn't get them back up. I was such a novice at kingdom building at this time that I did not want my villagers to be underwater like that. I wanted them to be above the surface where I intended to build a town. That is when I had my brother, the Sun King, join my world and help me out. Since he had experience with villagers and had already started his own city, essentially. It wasn't a village anymore. He had a city going. He helped me build a district in mine that would safely house the villagers, and they would be walled off separately from my personal fort. It worked. The district was the perfect idea. My town that I aptly named Seatown, since it's in the middle of the sea, of course, had started with a few villagers, but has now ballooned to a population of 38 villagers. That is its current population count. It is probably more than that. I just counted the beds. The town started as one district, which I called Old Town District. Then it expanded into what is called the Residential District. Then Samsburg District, the district that I gifted to my brother, the Sun King, and acts as an embassy as well. It is a place for his people to thrive in my world. So he has a home away from home. I had also gifted him a couple provinces as well, but I will not go into that today. After Samsburg, in the line of my city expansion, is the largest reflection room in the kingdom, and it takes up a quarter of Seatown itself. I would say it does. A solid quarter of the town is this huge reflection room, which people do live in there too. There's a couple gardens in there. There's a pond in there. It's not just a place for prayer. It's kind of a thriving, sacred area. After the reflection room, going north, is my girlfriend's Queen Gaia Divine's district and acting embassy. If you are a longtime listener to the show, then you have heard me talk about the district often. At the end of Seatown is the industrial complex, but no residents live there. The whole city stretches 190 blocks end to end. I just wanted to tell you a bit about my largest city in my kingdom and the population of it. I have recently conducted a kingdom-wide census of every town. It took a little while to count them all. It really did. It took me some time because they're spread out all over the place, tucked into, some are underground. I may have forgot a couple. My kingdom is large and wide, and I have constructed and found a total of 37 villages in the past 2 years. Most of those I built myself, but I would say probably 10 of those are naturally spawned villages. Maybe less. Maybe seven are probably naturally spawned. My realm has a total population of approximately 372 villagers milling about, and it is continuously growing. I am always looking for places to build or to establish new colonies. Excuse me, I just need to grab a little water. My allergies, I think, are still acting up, even though it's like late fall. I apologize, folks. Okay, sorry about that. But now that I've told you about one of my biggest towns and the census I took, I would like to now move on to the results of the poll and read comments from fellow Minecrafters. I'll start with the loser of this week's poll, and this was an odd range choice to lose. The choice with the range of 45 to 60, and it earned a total amount of votes equaling 0. That's right, a big, fat goose egg. I thought that was just odd because all the other ranges earned votes, but not 45 to 60. Is that like a cursed range number that I put in the poll? Out of 41 total votes, not one voted this range. I just found that to be just really weird. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Moving on. The next range with 2 votes were the people who have their biggest town between 60 and 75. Now, that's a pretty decent sized population. I think. I mean, that's just a great population for a Minecraft town. So, you 2 people out there, be proud of your empire. Next is the range of 30 to 45 villagers with a total of 9 votes. And this is where my vote falls into. Seatown, my biggest, as I've already said, has 38 villagers. You wouldn't think that 38 people would be that much, but it actually forms a pretty big city if you don't cram them in. Now, as I said, Seatown is 190 blocks end to end. It could technically be 2 cities in spawning terms. The next group up is actually a tie. These next 2 ranges each received 10 votes. And the range, the first one I'll list off, is the one of 15 to 30 villagers. And the other, 75 to 100 villagers. That's our biggest range group out of the 5 in this poll. Big difference between the 2. You have 15 to 30 villagers, and then 75 to 100. That's a big difference, a big contrast. I was actually impressed that there were 10 people out there with a town of 75 to 100 villagers. That is actually a pretty good size. The 15 to 30 I can completely understand. It's a respectable range for sure, but modest in comparison to 100. I can picture that 100-person. I can picture what a 100-person village looks like. Just let me tell you, my brother, the Sun King, we went to his world on his server, and he has a town called Farthia, and we did a population count in that city. We counted there an approximation of 95 villagers. In case I didn't explain before, we count the population by counting beds. It is much easier than trying to count each villager individually. They move around way too much, and if you have a huge town, then it is just nearly impossible to count them all. Very impressive, everyone. The last one with the most votes, totaling to 18 votes, is the range group of 0 to 15 villagers, which in hindsight, I wish that I would have made that 1 to 15, as I said earlier, instead of 0 to 15, because that could just not be a village with a population of 0. Anyways, it makes sense to me that this got the most votes. Personally speaking, most of my towns that I have personally constructed are around 8 villagers in population. Many of my naturally spawned villages found consist of 8 villagers as well. And it's kind of odd. I thought they were much bigger than that until I started doing the count. I thought maybe it would be at least 10. Maybe there's a couple just hiding from me. I can see why so many people fall into this range, though. Thank you, everyone who participated in this poll. I really enjoyed seeing that outcome and the results to that. I'd like to now move on to comments. A commenter with the handle Big Tally goes, quote, 100 plus, end quote. They are obviously one of the 10 voters who are in the range of 75 to 100. We should make a 100 club. But great work, Big Tally, and thank you for that brief comment. Don't have too much to say on that, but just congrats on having 100 plus there. My next commenter is from a fellow called apprehensive_hat8986, who says, quote, surely less than 60, but frankly, I don't know the number. While I've mapped and documented at least 10 villages in my main world, only one has been secured and another developed. 60 villagers makes sense in total amongst 10 villages. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, I should have in-quoted there, but 60 villagers make sense in total amongst 10 villages. As I said, I had around 8 villagers per natural village in my world. Theirs would average to be 6. They went on to say further, quote, funny thing is, I'm not adding beds, but the villagers keep breeding. Seems that between the terrain relief and the town's area, the villagers that do have beds lose track fairly often, and so more babies. The town itself only has 10 professionals, 3 farmers, 2 shepherds, armor, toolsmith, stonemason, fletcher, and a mending librarian. Then there's a swath, I think they meant swath, of unemployed and nitwits roaming about, end quote. I responded back by saying, quote, that's hilarious. I have a couple towns like that where they just keep breeding. But that is funny to hear. I guess I didn't realize that if the villager lost track like that they would breed another. Makes sense now that you mentioned it, end quote. I still need to look up the game mechanics behind that. But that did intrigue me. I didn't realize that they could lose track and then they just bred again. That was interesting. I appreciate those comments, my friend. I hope to hear more from you in the future episodes. The next commenter goes by Pancake. They say, quote, as a rough guess, I have 70 to 100 villagers that I use in various trading areas in terms of all total villagers and spawn villages. According to Minotaur, it is about 2,000 total in the world, end quote. That's a fair amount of villagers. But this Minotaur thing is what caught my eye. I have never heard of it before. So I looked it up and found their website, minotaur.software.informer.com. And this is what it said on their site. Quote, Minotaur is an easy-to-use mapping tool for Minecraft, end quote. There was more following that first sentence, but we got the general sense of it. Sounds like an interesting piece of software. Thank you for that comment, Pancake. I have one more comment I would like to read before wrapping up this week's show. It is from a person with the handle jaavaaguru, who says, quote, multiple hundreds. It's kind of hard for me to count. I've got a one-by-one replica of Shangri-La Hotel in Abu Dhabi, and also one of the Hilton Hotel in Glasgow. Then some other large buildings too, all safe places for villagers. The Abu Dhabi one has at least 10 individual villages combined with the one complex, including the villas around the hotel. Thinking of doing one of my favorite hotels next, the Atlantis at Palm Jumeirah. That might double my villager count. Edit. I forgot about my Walmart with all its villager employees too. End quote. Now, I checked out these images, folks, and I must say, they were amazing. They really did a one-by-one scale of these buildings they mentioned, and it is insane to see the amount of detail that went into them. They did just a stunning job. I'll leave the link to their work in the show description, and you can find it at Realm News' Reddit as well. Thank you so much, jaavaaguru, for that amazing comment, and best of luck on your next one-by-one replica. Please share it to me. I would like to tell the world about it. I wonder what you'll build next. I'm just curious. The Great Wall of China, perhaps? I won't be shocked. They have an amount of dedication that most people just don't have. Truly great work in your builds, my friend. There were many comments made that I could read off, but perhaps I will save that for another day. I will have to leave it there for today, my friends. I thought it was very fascinating to hear an approximation on what people's villager count is in their world and in their biggest village. I'd love to hear all the comments made too. Perhaps you are inspired to build a new village, discover one, or maybe add on to a pre-existing village. Whatever you do, I hope you have fun. And as I mentioned, I have to cut this episode short because I'm recording on Thanksgiving, which is a major American holiday, and I've got to go eat tons of food and go see my family I haven't seen for a while. I wish you all a great rest of your day and happy crafting. The Dark Lord signing out. Hello, Realm News fans. I just wanted to pop back in here and just tell you all how much I appreciate you for listening to the show. It means the world to me that you tune in every week to hear me, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. I am honored to be your host and to be able to deliver to you weekly original Minecraft content, with Realm News Flash and Realm News on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you enjoyed the show, I would love it if you would tell your friends about it and tell them to follow the show. Hit that like button and leave a comment. I know that on Spotify you can leave comments on individual episodes, same on Good Pods. I'm not sure on all the other podcast player platforms out there, but I appreciate the feedback, so please comment if you are able to. If you cannot comment wherever you listen to Realm News, then you can by following Realm News at either its Twitter, now X, Blue Sky, Reddit, or email, which is all found at bio.link/realmnews, which is all lowercase. Again, that is bio.link/realmnews. There you can also make a monetary donation by clicking on the Ko-Fi link. I put in about 30 hours a week in research, writing, editing, marketing, recording, social media, and much more in creating and keeping this show running. The donations would help me eventually give up my second job so I can focus more on this podcast and deliver more content with better quality to you. I understand times are tough, and I do not expect anyone to give me money. I'm just saying that if you are able to, it's much appreciated. However, you can show your appreciation by just listening, liking, following, or recommending the show as I said earlier. That means much more than you would ever know. With that said, I wish you all happy crafting, and I look forward to talking to you at the next Realm News episode. The Dark Lord signing out.